Hello. Happy Wednesday. I am getting ready to feed the dogs, but I was opening. I got this box. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I got this box in the mail from Empowered Crystals. I ordered these. If you guys remember, I talked to you about this. And so I'm so excited about this. So the first necklace that I got is this. Do you see it? You can't really see it. It's like, here, I'm gonna show you one. Do you see? It's so pretty. This crystal necklace. I love it. I haven't even opened the second one yet. So I'm really happy. These were only like $30. If you go on Etsy, it's called Empowered Crystals. And I just ordered them. They're here already. I'm really impressed with the packaging and everything. I mean, look at put them in little boxes and with the little cards on them and everything. Oh my God, this is so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. And it comes with this long cord. So look at this one. Can you see it? It's like multicolored. I love these. I'm gonna wear one of them tonight. We're getting ready to go see Steve Aoki. So, and I'm getting ready to feed the doggies. Are you guys hungry? Are you guys so hungry? So yeah. And we have had a lazy day. I went to counseling, my counseling appointment, and I talked about my 4th step that I'm working on. And then let's see, I went and I got my oil changed. What is that? And then I got my oil changed, and then I came home, and I already had my video made from yesterday, so I wasn't going to do another video. I was just going to leave that one up, so I just have one video up today, and my vlog. And, yeah. So, happy. And then, what else did I do today? Let's see. And then I came home and I live streamed. Hold on, I gotta get some food for the dogs. Are you guys so hungry? Who's hungry? PB, you're hungry, but you can't have this food. I'm sorry, Stevie. This is for Boo and Tucker. I know you want this food, but you can't have it, honey. Because it'll hurt your little teeth. The doctor wants you to have wet food. Trust me, if I had my prerogative, you'd have dry food too, because it's much, much easier. Oh, I also bought... I wanted a pair of shoes. I got these at their Supply Lab. I got them at DSW. I wanted a pair of shoes to like go out with. Because I always wear, like whenever I go out, I always wear a black t-shirt and jeans. So I got these. They're cute. They're just like leather. I don't love how thick the white sole is, but we'll see how it looks tonight. So I'm gonna wear black jeans and a black t-shirt in those. Oh. And then if you didn't see my new little, did you guys see my Puma bag that came? I love it so much. Okay. So, do we have any leftover food? I do not believe that we do. No, we don't. Happy. So, it's been a really good day today so far. It's just been kind of a lazy day, you know? The live stream was really a lot of fun. I love to live stream during the day. I need to do it more often. For the people like when they get off work and don't want to stay up super late and see me, as well as for like the people that are in other countries that it's hard for them to catch me. You know, because when I'm like, PB, you don't even eat that much anymore, so I'm not going to put that much in your bowl because you have treats and all kinds of stuff throughout the day. Unlike, you know, like, so if I go on at 10 here, you know, it's like 2 or 3 or 4 for some people. Honey, I'm coming. Wait a second, Tucker. So it's hard for them to catch my live stream. So, here, PB, I'll give you all this extra. Ugh. It's so nasty, you guys. You want to see? Look at this. It's so gross. And then I mix Boo and Tucker's together. I don't know how our house does not smell like this food. See, I cook. I cook Boo and Tucker's dinner for them. So anyway, yeah, it's been a really relaxing day. I liked doing the live streams earlier, but I didn't have anything to do today either other than just go to my counseling appointment and get my oil changed, which thank God I finally did, because I needed to do it about 5,000 miles ago. He was like, there was almost no oil at all. I go, oh, okay. So, good thing I finally got that done, right? Oh, okay. Give me just a second and I will be back. I'm going to go feed these little guys. Here you go, Pee-Pee. Oh my Lord, it looks so good. He'll eat like 2 bites of it and be done. Okay, Tucker. Here you go, honey. There you go. Yum. I have to put Boo Radley in his house to feed him and close the door, because if I don't, Boo and Pee-Pee will go in there and eat his food, because he takes so long to eat. He's just a slow eater. Some people are fast eaters. Pee-Pee, are you done with your dinner already? That's all you wanted. He does not like his food. I have to go find new food for him. We'll go tomorrow, Pee-Pee. I'll go get you some food. I don't even know what my day looks like tomorrow. Let's look and see what my day looks like. Oh, short day tomorrow. I have a meeting at 1. 3. Okay. So my crystals are going upstairs. I have my wallet and my phone right here to go out tonight. There's that stuff. I do not need my fan. And this stuff I need to... trying to consolidate and clean up my life a little bit. Do you guys do that? Do you go like around your house and clean up? Go through the mail. Welcome to the exciting life of Peter Monn. Oh, let's see what this stupidness is. Nope, don't need that. Gas bill. Alex mail, Alex mail. So, that's about it. Now I was gonna trim my beard. I don't think I'm going to tonight. I think I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer. This is like where I keep all of my jewelry down here that I wear on a regular basis. So I'm gonna look and see what jewelry I want to wear tonight. Look at this Nixon watch I used to wear. I need to get a battery for this. I love this watch so much. Isn't it so cute? God, I wish the battery worked in here. I would wear it tonight. Battery. Maybe I'll wear that bracelet. I guess there's not really that much jewelry in here, is there? Stupid stuff. This watch I got at Target, but I love. Do you see the stripes on it? Chapstick. Okay. Well, at least I cleaned that out. Do you guys do that? Do you like clean out stuff? Did you finish eating, Tucker? Honey? I'm not very good about cleaning stuff out. Tucker, did you finish cleaning, honey? Or Tucker, did you finish eating? PB is probably in there trying to eat his food, because that's what he does. He doesn't want to eat anything else, but he'll go in there and... Were you trying to eat Tucker's food, honey? You were. Tucker, don't let him do that. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Did you finish your dinner? You did? I don't believe you. Let me go see. Let's see if Tucker ate his dinner. Oh, good boy. Yes, good boy, Tucker. He ate his whole dinner. Well, here. You didn't eat that one. Have that little one, guy. There you go. Good boy. Kitchen cleaned up. Everything done for the day. I need to put that in the garage. He's had his medicine. They've eaten their dinner. And now it's time for me to get ready. I don't know why. Alex got these matches from Mixter. And so he likes to light all the candles with it. I don't even know why. I think it's kind of weird. Go eat your dinner, honey. PB, go eat your dinner. He says no. And you know why? Because he'd rather have a hot dog. It's the truth. So anyway, well listen, I'm gonna go get ready, and I will see you guys later, probably after Steve Aoki, because Alex is driving down there tonight, and I want to take my camera with me, so. All right, love you guys. Hello. How are you? It is 2:55, and it is pouring down rain, and I'm kind of super tired. I was like laying in bed, and I was like, I need to vlog, I want to vlog and get it done. Whenever I say that in a video, people are always like, you can miss a day, you don't have to. I'm like, no, I have vlogged every day for a year and almost 2 months now, and I'm gonna vlog every day forever. I'm not missing a day. Do it for the vlog, do it for the vlog. So, I was like, I can go out for half an hour and vlog and then come home and be in bed. We had a lot of fun. We went to, well, I had such a relaxing day. I had such a nice day today. But I've now gone 2 days without posting on Peterisms and Peter Likes Books. And I need a day to just sit down and film. I haven't had a lot. Well, yesterday I had all the time in the world and I just didn't. Today I didn't have a lot of time because I was kind of like rushing around getting stuff done. And so I didn't have time but to make, to put up the one video that I had up. So, yeah. But tomorrow I am back to making the videos. Let's see. We went to Steve Aoki tonight. We went and picked up our friend Erin and drove her down there. And then met her husband Eric. And then Melissa and Jason were there. If you follow my Snapchat and my Instagram stories, which you should follow my Instagram and my Snapchat, because I always show stuff when I'm out. I showed us dancing and all that kind of stuff. It was real fun. So anyway, Steve Aoki was great. I did not know the first two people that opened for him. One of them was really good, and the other guy was a rapper, and I didn't know him, and I'm not, like, into really hardcore rap music. Like, I like some of it, but I don't like a lot of it. And partly just because I don't know it, you know? And I like Steve Aoki, but I have to be honest, like, he's not my favorite DJ. I feel like he's kind of an acquired taste. Like, he has a couple songs that I really like, and, there's this new song that he has called Azuka that I like. But other than that, like, and Boneless I like. There's a couple of songs of his that I really like, but some of his stuff gets kind of trappy, and I'm not real into that. I don't love trap music. So it's kind of a spooky night outside. It was 75 today, and it's now 49, and it's supposed to be a high of like 39 tomorrow, which is crazy. That's Indiana winter for you. But we had a lot of fun. Melissa and Jason were there, our other friends were there, and we danced all night long, and so yeah. Bow, 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 bow. I like on Facebook, like a week ago, I posted a video that I did on my main channel, because I never use Facebook. I just don't ever get on Facebook, and I never use Facebook for that, especially. And like everybody that like from my real world that on Facebook, like they don't really have any kind of idea of what I do, like on YouTube. So I posted a video, and I can't remember which one it was. But my friend tonight, Kizzy, she was like, oh my God, I watched that video that you did on YouTube. And she said, oh my God, you were so funny in that video. She was like, I loved it. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I said, do you think I'm the same in person as I am in the videos? And she was like, not at all. I go, what do you mean? She goes, no, you're not like that at all. She's like, that's like an exaggerated version of you. She's like, but I do wish that you would bring a fan out and flip a fan. I was like, well. So, anyway. It's weird, though, like, going out and being, like, with people that, like, well, like, with Kizzy, she and I, we used to go to, we didn't know each other then, but we went to some of the same raves, like, when we were, like, it's really hot in my car. When we were, like, 18, and we were talking about how it reminded us of raves. It was really young. It was, like, 18 and over. And so there were a lot of 18-year-old kids there, and there was like a lot of kids. Like, it was really sad. It was kind of sad to me tonight because I don't see this a lot at shows that I go to. Like Ultra that I go to in Miami is 21 and over. I think it used to be 18 and over, but now it's 21 and over. But I don't know if it's because of that age group or why, but like I just don't see a lot of kids like falling out from drugs. And tonight there was like this girl, and her eyes were bugging out there, and I was sitting with my friends Aaron and Eric, and they were like, we're all three of us they still do work as drug counselors, you know, and we're just like, and Eric was like, should we say something? And I said, say something to the security guard. And but like her boyfriend was just like sitting there, and he was like, you just need some fresh air, and we're like, she needs to go home. Like, I don't know, it's just scary. I think that's how like people die from it. And then, you know, people don't understand why I get so like upset about it, like in my videos when I see like YouTubers flagrantly, you know, bragging about their drug use, and I'm like, you're role models to this group of people, and so are musicians, and so are, you know, pop culture is a role model itself to the younger generation. I mean, they always have been, even when I was young, even when your parents were young, and our grandparents were young, you know, was pop culture was role modeling, you know, to our youth. And it's not blaming any one person for it. Like, I always get this. I always get, you know, well, it's not their fault. They didn't ask to be role models, didn't they? I mean, like, that's my issue with it, right? It's like, okay, you know, when you are a public figure like that, there's a certain form of responsibility that goes along with being a public figure, period. You know, it's like, I've known so many people, so many girls that were like, you know, Miss Indianas and, you know, models and whatever, that they were very concerned with their public image, like would never drink or smoke cigarettes, like ever in public, ever. Because they didn't want anybody to see them doing that, you know? And if they went out and they had a drink, they had a drink, you know? And because it was very important for them, the public image that they were putting out. And to not be messy, to not be, you know, problematic. They didn't want, you know, younger girls looking up to them thinking that that's the way that you behave. And like, I've had those conversations with people that were public figures before, you know? And so it goes along with the territory. It's like, I just think that's a flagrant attitude to have, you know, to just be like, well, they didn't ask to be public figures. Well, they put up videos on YouTube that get millions and millions of views. What are they asking for? Sure, they're asking to be a public figure. That's what pays the bills. Like, I mean, I don't know, like, when I get serious about it, and maybe this is more, you know, the arena for that on here, but when I get serious about it, a lot of times people get shitty with me and they're like, I don't know why you can't just let them live their lives and whatever. I'm like, okay, because a 17 or an 18-year-old, like, I got a comment today on one of my videos about Tana. It was like an older video about Tana Mojo, and they said, Tana's 18 years old, like, she, it's not, you know, like, she doesn't need to have adults telling her what to do with her life. Well, when I was 18 years old, I had parents in my life, you know. I can tell you at 25 years old, if I had acted that way, my dad would have called me up and said, you need to settle your ass down. Okay, this is a problem, and if you can't handle your life, then I'm going to step in and handle it for you. He would have done that at 30. That's what being a parent is about, no matter what age your child is. And the thing that's, you know, concerning to me is that these people have management companies that are adults, and they just let this stuff fly, you know? And, you know, when you look at adults like Amy Winehouse and Whitney Houston and people that had major drug problems, it's like, it was part of it because everybody was afraid to say no to the superstar, you know, because everybody was dependent on that person's success. I don't know, it just makes me sad. I don't believe any of those people really truly wanted to die from an overdose, you know? And I don't believe that somebody that's a public figure can make somebody else use. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I don't hold them accountable for these kids using. I mean, I think people use because, you know, for a myriad of issues, you know, the predisposition for addiction that's genetic, you know, people that they choose to hang out with, wanting to experiment, it gets out too far out of hand and whatever. So I don't blame, like, the Tana Mojos of the world, you know, that I don't think it's their fault that these people are using, but I do think that we can excuse some of that stuff away, you know. You know, take it back to when I was, like, that age, and, you know, I would see, like, pictures of Madonna and Sandra Bernhard, you know, like, out at bars in New York City, like, dancing it up and smoking cigarettes and drinking and partying and stuff, and that looked fun to me. Like, that looked like a lot of fun, you know? Or, like, in the Blonde Ambition tour, when they're, like, drinking and stuff with Madonna, you know? Or, you know, the supermodels, when they would go out and get tanked, like, that looked like fun to me. And so, and that was pop culture when I was growing up, you know, rock stars. I thought, you know, live fast, die young, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That was all very appealing to me because it looked glamorous, it looked fun. And so, I don't blame any of those people for my use, but it was a really easy way for me to excuse it away. Oh, they do it, so then I can do it, you know? And I think for any of us, we have to decide who we want to be as role models, you know? I don't know why I'm going on and on about that. Maybe it doesn't matter, but it made me sad tonight when I saw that. Because I don't often at shows see people, like, just falling out, and I saw, like, 3 kids tonight that just were like, I was like, I hope to God they make it home, you know? So drugged out of their minds. Do you know what's interesting about that? And, like, I'm not like the addict or alcoholic that's, like, reformed to the point where, like, I don't understand why that's fun. Like, it was funny because Eric and I were talking tonight. He's like, what do you miss the most? And I said, you know, I don't really miss a lot. Like, I definitely don't miss drinking because I don't miss, like, not knowing where I was and, some of the things that I actually loved about drinking, like not knowing where I was and not knowing what had happened the night before and just completely numbing myself, are things today that are absolutely terrifying to me, that I can't believe that I actually enjoyed that about it, you know? And, but I was telling him, I said, I liked pills a lot. Vicodin I loved. You know, I was a big cocaine addict, but I wouldn't say it was my drug of choice. It became a necessity for me. But like marijuana, I loved smoking pot, but I hated the smell of it, which is really funny. People usually love the smell of it. I can't stand the smell of pot. I think it smells dirty. But I love smoking pot, and I never suffered any consequences from it. And I never, because I was dealing it, you know, at the end, I never really had to, it never cost me anything. So, but I don't really miss getting high either. I don't really miss using at all. I just really don't, you know? And, I don't know, Tanya and I were talking about this the other night, and I said to her, you know, it was funny because when we went out to dinner with these girls the other night at that sushi restaurant, I was like, you know, they each of them had kind of a fun drink, and you know, Alex and his friend Amy had a martini, and they came in these round glasses that were different, and I kind of for a second thought, you know, oh, it'd be kind of fun to have a drink. I mean, not I was really consciously thinking about it, but I thought those are fun glasses, it'd be fun to have something different to drink, you know. And then later that night I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like my tape plays through so quick that I don't even really think about each movement. So I was kind of slowing down my tape, if that makes sense, and thinking about each thing, and it's I'm not the person that it would stop with one drink, you know? I would have the one drink, and then I would start getting a little buzzed, and I would want another drink, and then another, and then everybody would want to go home like they did that night, and I'd be like, why are we wanting to go home? And then I would want to go out to a bar, and then it would close at 3 o'clock, and I'd be like, okay, whose house are we going over to do shots? You know, that was, and then I'd be hungover, and the whole next day would be wasted, and all this kind of stuff. And Tanya and I were talking about, what am I really missing out? I mean, take away the addiction part of it, you know, just from a fun point of view. What am I really missing out by just going out and having a Diet Coke, you know? And I told her, I said I was so excited because they had Dr. Pepper there, you know? And it's what am I really missing out by having Dr. Pepper instead of, I'm not, I mean, I had just as good a time as they did, you know? And, it's I really encourage people that are regular drinkers, even if it's not problematic, even if you don't have a problem drinking, but let's just say if every time you go out with your girlfriends you have a glass of wine or, you know, whatever, take 30 days, just 30 days, and don't drink for 30 days. When you go out and, you know, when you go out to lunch or dinner with your girlfriends, I mean, if you're somebody that hardly ever drinks, this won't do anything for you, but if you're somebody that drinks on a pretty regular basis, do it for 30 days. And see if you save money, see if you physically feel better, and see if you really have any less or more fun not drinking. Because I'm not convinced that I think it makes things a whole lot more fun, you know? And the other thing is, I feel it just kind of mutes people sometimes. I mean, this one girl that we were with, she had quite a few drinks for dinner, I thought. I mean, we were there for 2.5 hours. That's the other thing, is people that drink, my God, y'all can go out to have some long dinners. 2.5 hours is a long fucking dinner as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, she had quite a few drinks at dinner. Not 10, but she had 4 drinks at dinner, and she was buzzed at the end of it, you know, a little slurry, not a lot, but a little bit. And I thought, I just don't think that's very much fun, you know? If I sober do not find you fun drunk, you're not fun, period. I'm just telling you that. People don't like to think that way, but it's kind of the truth, you know? I mean, I think people that drink a lot always think it's so much fun, you know? It's okay, but to sober people, you're not real fun. So, no, it's not fun, because if you weren't drunk, you wouldn't be fun right now, and you're doing stupid things, you know, and saying inappropriate things. Also don't know how I learned this at a really young age in sobriety, and I don't mean because I was young in sobriety, I mean in an early stage in my sobriety, I kind of learned to just let people do their thing. Like, you know, there's this belief that, you know, if you're sober and you're working a program, that the desire to drink or use will be lifted from you. And I do feel that way, you know, like, I just don't think about it. It's not something that I want. It's not something that, like, I consciously, like, I mean, I thought that night at dinner, or I might, if we go to Mexico or something, be like, oh, it'd be nice to have, like, a Corona on the beach, you know? Like, do people even drink Coronas anymore? But, like, it's a fading thought that goes away in 10 seconds. It's not like, God, I want to drink. You know what I mean? Like, now, I can remember those days. I mean, that was bad. My first 6 months of not drinking, every day was like, God, I want to drink, you know? But I don't ever have that. Ever, ever, ever. And, you know, it's interesting because, like, very early on, I set boundaries and limits with myself. Like, if people needed rides, I would give them rides, you know, because I would rather have them get home safely. But I didn't like to be taken advantage of for it, so I don't, you know. I mean, I'm not going to drive an hour out of my way to get somebody home. They can take an Uber. Unless they're so intoxicated that I don't feel like they'll get home safely in an Uber, and then I don't have a problem driving them home. I would rather have them get home safe. And then, you know, I don't babysit either. Like, I don't have people come and stay at my house. You know, when Alex and I first started dating, we used to go out to a lot of gay bars, and Alex had a couple of friends that were like 3 years younger than him. So, you know, at the time that he was like 24 when I started dating him and I was 36, we had a couple of friends that were like 21 and they liked to drink. And so they would park their car at our house and like, or my house back then, because Alex hadn't moved in yet, and we would all drive down together. Well, they would come back and, you know, pass out on the couch downstairs, and, you know, then it was like, they wake up the next morning and it's just like, I mean, I'm not a college dorm. And that lasted about a month, and I told Alex, I said, hey, listen, you know, like, I understand you're like straight out of college, you know, and straight out of Bloomington, Indiana, but like, I'm not, like, and this isn't who I am. And he was like, that's cool, you know, we don't have to have them stay here anymore. And so that kind of like quit very quickly. But like, other than that, and that was like 10 years ago, you know, 10 years ago, like right now. But other than that, I've never really had an issue with people like drinking and stuff when we go out. Now I do ask if they're gonna smoke pot, not to do it, like, don't put me in a car with it, and don't have it with you in my car, because I'm not getting pulled over for somebody else's drugs. That's bullshit. Or any other illegal substance. But as far as the drinking, oh, and I don't allow alcohol in my car either. That's another thing. And I won't get in a car with somebody that has alcohol, like an open container. I won't do it. And I will not get in a car with somebody that's been drinking and driving, period. I didn't get sober for 23 years to end up in a car accident because somebody decided to drink and drive. That's stupid. And I mean, a lot of times, like, well, I always drive, so, or Alex always drives, and so if he goes out and has a couple drinks, and I'm just like, hey, I'll drive home, he's like, okay. So, but as far as like going out to dinner with people that drink and stuff like that, it really doesn't bother me. As long as it doesn't get like overkill, you know what I mean? And then I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm done. If they're like drunk, I don't enjoy that. But at dinner and stuff like that, people don't typically get like that. Now, Tanya and I were talking the other night about like our friends that have gone back out the last couple years, because we have like 2 or 3 friends that have gone back out and started drinking again. And I mean, after some long period of sobriety too, very long periods of sobriety. And so if you think that doesn't happen, it does. And I told her, she was like, now, do you think that you could go out with them and drink? And I said, like, do you think you could go out if they were having like a beer at dinner? And I said, no, I couldn't do that. And she's like, yeah, I don't think that I could either. And I said, but that wasn't the condition of the relationship that we had with them. You know, like, we were like family in recovery. Like, I can't sit there while I've had conversations with you about sobriety, you know, and like how much it means to us, and then sit there and have you you know, order a Stella or something. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't do that. Like, I could not do that. And, so, yeah. Sad when that happens, though, you know? Because, you know, like, if they weren't successful before, they're not going to be successful this time. And I think people convince themselves that they can be successful. And I'm here to tell you, without breaching these people's anonymity, I mean, they're not even in a program anymore, but I'm not going to do that because they're friends. I don't talk to them anymore, but they were friends of mine. I would talk to them if they called me. I'm not friends with them anymore because they chose to not be friends with me, because I think our lifestyles are different with them going back out and starting to use again. And I will tell you this, for all of them, it started with smoking pot. So when people tell me that marijuana is not dangerous, my two friends, one of which had over 21 years of sobriety and the other one who had 11 years of sobriety, they both started using marijuana, and it was just smoking pot, occasionally. And that very quickly went back to smoking pot daily, which then went to drinking, which then went to LSD, ecstasy, cocaine, things like that. So, for addicts and alcoholics, marijuana is not safe, I don't believe. Somebody actually asked me that in my Q&A. They're like, what do you think about people that are sober that do medical marijuana? And I'm like, well, I personally don't consider that sober. For me, I wouldn't consider that sober, but I don't have the right to tell anybody else what to do with their sobriety. Like, they have to make those choices on their own, if that makes sense. So, like, you know, they have to decide if medical marijuana is sober for them. I can't decide that for somebody else. But for me, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I think I talked about this last night, actually, didn't I? Because I was talking about cancer. I think cancer, for me, might be the one exception that I could see, because there's not a lot of other great, like, except for, like, oxycodone, there's not a lot of other great pain relievers, except for, like, medical marijuana. I know works very well with pain for cancer patients. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, like, for me, there's no, like, I don't know if I feel like there's gray area with that. Like, it's hard, you know, but it's like, with me, I'm just such a Puritan about those things. Like, I don't share this story on here very often, but, you know, my mom, when she was in the hospital in ICU, she was in a coma, and they wanted to put her on a morphine pump. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I talked to several people on the program. You know, I brought it up before I allowed them to do that. You know, like, I talked to several people. I talked to, you know, people that had been friends of my mom in sobriety, what they thought she would want. I, you know, prayed on it a lot, because I didn't feel like it was my right to take my mother's sobriety away from her. And I know damn well, if my mother was coherent and she wasn't in a coma, she would have said, do not hook me up to that morphine pump. She hated drugs. She never, like, was into all that. So, I mean, I felt really conflicted about that. You know what I mean? But they, like, the doctors were like, Peter, we have no idea the intensity of pain that she's in, being that she's in a coma. Like, if she's aware, it could be, like, incredible pain. So I was like, eventually I just was like, okay, you know? But it was also my dad telling me that at that point, you know, she probably wasn't going to come back without some, like, you know, even if she came back from what had happened, she basically there'd be, like, very little brain activity, and, you know, because she had been on a feeding tube and oxygen for so long at that point. I don't know. I think, like, the whole discussion of, are you sober if you smoke pot? Or are you sober if you take painkillers and things like that? Like, to me, no. But I remember having that conversation with my old sponsor, my two sponsors ago, that he was my sponsor for 12 years. And I got real upset because I started finding out, like, several people that were doing the quote-unquote marijuana maintenance program. Like, they weren't drinking, but they were smoking pot. And I said, well, do you think they're sober? And he goes, I don't think it really fucking matters what I think. He goes, it's their sobriety. And he goes, and I don't really think it fucking matters what you think either. It's not your sobriety. Let them do what they're going to do. If it works for them, it works for them. And you know, at that point, my attitude kind of changed a little bit. Now, I wouldn't sponsor somebody that smoked pot, but that's just me. I'd say, hey, go find somebody that's okay with you smoking pot. But I'm not gonna sponsor that. I'm not gonna co-sign that. You know, it's an interesting conversation. It's a conversation that a lot of people have, like, you know, in the rooms of 12-step programs. So. Hard to like say really how I feel about it without talking about the separate programs, but like in one program it wouldn't fly at all, and in another program, since it's not really addressed, it's kind of like, well, people excuse it and they rationalize it, you know. I just want everything that sobriety has to offer me, and the only way that I've ever found that is by being completely abstinent from all mood-altering substances. So, that's just my 2 cents about it. I didn't think I was going to get on here and talk about sobriety and addiction tonight. Y'all got me spun out. And I've almost talked for a half an hour. I can't believe it. Oh my God. And now I'm awake. Thanks. I have one meeting tomorrow. I looked from 1 to 3. Oh yeah, I was on the camera when I looked. I have one meeting tomorrow from 1 to 3. And then I don't have anything after that. So I'm gonna come home and make videos. I'm thinking about, I would like to know what you guys would think. I'm really terrified to like tease this idea out. What do you think if I did like a really honest makeup review? Okay, well, hold on a second. I'm gonna come back in just a second because it's about to shut off because I'm like at 29 minutes and 50 seconds. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I thought I would let the camera take a break for a second. All right, I have an idea for a series on my main channel, but I want to know what you guys think about it, okay? By the way, Hassie, I love these Kiehl's spit inside my mouth. Lip balms that you sent me. Oh, they're fantastic. I love them. Okay. So, because I do beauty drama, right? People constantly ask me 2 things. Number 1, would I ever wear makeup? Yes, I probably would if I knew kind of what I was doing. But like I wouldn't wear full face makeup, you know what I mean? Like I just don't have any desire to do that. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it sometime, but like I just don't have a lot of desire to do that. Okay. And the second thing is they asked me if I would do makeup reviews. So I've kind of started thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, you know, how would I do makeup reviews not knowing shit about makeup? And then I was like, well, there's a lot of shit that I don't know a lot about that I would review, you know? I would review, I don't cook, but I would review a restaurant. I don't cook, but I would review Blue Apron. I did. Do you guys remember that rant video? You know, like, I drive a car, but I don't know about cars, but would I review a car? Sure. So, I was thinking about doing, I'm not stealing this title, just let's make that very, very clear. But I thought about doing a series on my channel where I did like, maybe just like once a week or once every other week to see how it went, where I do like brutally honest makeup reviews. They would not be called that, okay? I have a name that they would be called that would be kind of funny. And the title would also indicate that I don't know shit about makeup. But it would be me like buying a palette or lipsticks or whatever, not knowing shit about makeup, and just giving my honest review and opinion about the makeup. What do we think about that? I'm seriously thinking about doing that. And then, like, the makeup, doing like a giveaway, because it's not like I'm gonna keep it. So I would like use it once and then give it away. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you like that? No? Yes? You guys are like, nah, we don't really watch that channel anyway. But I feel like I need to kind of start coming up with some more creative and different content. And since a lot of people have asked for that, I'm like, well, you know what? Give the people what they want. I mean, if that's what they want, let me do it. But I want to do it. I don't want to just buy a bunch of makeup and do stupid reviews that are fake. I don't want to do that. You know, like, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'll do these reviews and I'll get on there and tell the truth of what I really think. I'm not going to get on there and act like I'm no makeup artist. I'm not going to get on there and act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not going to do no get ready with me. I'm going to get on there. I'm going to do some swatches and tell them if I think they're greasy, if I like the colors, I think the colors are shit. What, you know? Every one of my girlfriends, with the exception of Tanya, is like high glam. So I could do videos with friends of mine too and see what they think. I don't know. I've just been kind of an idea I've been throwing around a little bit. Do you like that? You guys are like, no, we don't really like that idea. Well, it's still in the process. I don't want to give the title away because the title is kind of funny and nobody has ever used this title before, so it would be kind of a total play though on another like kind of review. I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. We'll see. My stomach kind of hurts tonight because I ate late. Can you guys hear the rain? I can't stand the rain. I love the rain when I'm like laying in bed napping or sleeping. But I don't love the rain like when I have to be like out in it. You know what I mean? Like, especially if I have to like go somewhere. Like, I did my hair tonight and it looked so cute and everything, and then like the rain just destroyed it. Oh my god, do you guys know how many times people came up to me and were like, are you that YouTuber Peter Monn tonight? Big chicken egg. It didn't happen, not once. It's so funny, like, the misconception of what it's like to be a YouTuber. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's not like they're not a big YouTuber. I mean, they're not small, but they're not big. And they're like, oh, I get spotted all the time when I go out. They're like, don't you? I was like, never. They're like, people don't come up to you. I go, oh no, never. Nobody ever says anything to me. Nobody knows who I am. I'm a dude with a camera. Seriously, let's be for real. Oh, I get spotted all the time. I was like, oh my god. Tanya and I always laugh because there's these Linda Berry books that I love, and they're called Down the Street Kids. And my friend Heather and I used to read them back in the day, and they were so hilarious. And they're some of my favorite books ever. If you've never read them, they're about these if you've never read them before, they're about these two sisters, Marlis and Monn. And they're very poor, and their dad's an alcoholic, and he doesn't live with them. And they live with their mom, and she like works her ass off and smokes like a chimney, and she drinks a lot. And so they're always like hanging out with their cousin Freddie, and it's just so endearing, but it's so funny at the same time. And like Monn is always like, so Monn is like she's supposed to be like 14, I think, in the like 14 or 15, like in the books. And like Marlis is supposed to be like 10 or 12. Oh, 10 probably. And so Monn is always like, why am I not cool? Like, why am I not popular? Why I need to be popular and stuff like that. And she's like, if I wasn't such a dog, I would be popular. And she's totally not pretty. Okay, let's just be nice about it. But she's a cartoon character, so it's not like, she's a dog. She's a total dog. So anyway, and she knows it. She's like, why am I such a dog? So anyway, and like her one friend, Brenda, even says to her, Monn, I would love to be friends with you, but you're such a dog, I can't be friends with you anymore. And just the way they talk is so funny. But Marlis is always so happy. She's like, Monn, why aren't you happy? And she's like, because I'm a dog. And she's like, so who cares? Why aren't you grooving on the magic of life? And Marlis is so happy, and I just love her, and she's so happy all the time. And there's like this one, and like they have this like, they get a turtle, and they get this like turtle island thing to play with it, and they call like, they have like two turtles, and one's James Bond and one's like Goldfinger. And so they sit Goldfinger, but they go Goldfinger, and they like sing it the whole time they're playing with these turtles. Well, like their aunt gets shitty with them. It's the two of them and Freddie, and she says the turtles stink, and so she says the turtles move away, and then like they come home and they find like the turtle island, and it's like crushed in half, like their aunt stepped on it, and Marlis is like, man, wait till she gets a turtle, man. Like she's gonna get a turtle. But they're just hilarious like that, but they're kind of sad too. And anyway, Monn always, like, when somebody says something mean to her, people are always mean to her at school, right? I don't know. I think kind of like why I love them so much is that I so relate to Monn, like in high school. It's like, I just never, I couldn't, like, I was always, like, do you guys know that line from that Indigo Girls song? I can't remember the one. I love the Indigo Girls, by the way, but the one where she's like, I live 2 stories beyond the dune. It's awful quiet there since love fell asleep. I'm walking home from school. I can't remember the song. Whatever kind of nuzzle you got, gonna put the brand on number. Everything. Hold on. Anyway, there's a line in that song, and she says something about, like, I always did the wrong thing. Like, that's me. Like, I was always that person, and I'm still kind of that person. Like, I always say, like, the wrong thing, you know? Like, I always say awkward shit, and I always say things that, like, people take out of context, and they don't understand, you know? And then they just kind of look at me like I'm weird. And so, like, I don't know, like, I've always been that, and I feel like that kind of goes along with my being so, like, so, oh my god, there was a deer just standing there on the side of the road. I feel like that just kind of goes along with me being socially awkward a little bit. Closer I am to find, yeah. That's not the song, but I love that song. That's my favorite Indigo Girls song. Anyway, Monn in these books, she always has this look when people are mean to her in school, and she's like this. And so I always do that to Tanya. I'm always like, whenever she says something to me that makes me feel like an idiot, I'm always like, I'll have to look up, I'm gonna pull in here to the grocery store. I'm gonna pull up a picture of Monn so y'all can see what she looks like. Monn and Marlis, they're fantastic. Marlis has these 2 little pigtails that stick out on either side of her head. And Monn has kind of this uppity hairdo and these boobs that just like stick out like triangles. Do you guys know Linda Berry? She's fantastic. She's absolutely fantastic. She wrote this novel called Cruddy. It's one of my all-time favorite books. You know what? I loaned that damn book out to somebody. I want to read that book again. Cruddy by Linda Berry. I gotta remember, I want that book so bad, Cruddy by Linda Berry, and you can't find it anywhere. And I loaned it out to somebody like years ago. Every one of my favorite books I loaned out to somebody and I never got it back. If you guys want to read a really good book, and I do have a copy of this, but it's called Replay by Ken Grimwood. It's probably my, like, of all the books I've ever read in my entire life that, like, had some kind of weird effect on me, and I don't know if it was the time that I read it or what, but, like, it really had an effect on me. And it's kind of not really about time travel. On, like, the 5th page, the guy dies and his life starts over. It's pretty interesting. Okay, here, I'm going to show you Marlis and Monn. Let me lock my door in case somebody comes out here and they're like, what are you doing? Well, I'm looking at Marlis and Monn. Don't worry about it. Marlis and Monn. I used to have goldfish named Marlis and Monn, by the way. Cloudfish, actually. So, this is Marlis. Can you see her? That's Marlis. I love her. Oh, shit. Monn. I mean, how perfect of a name is that, though, right? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Wait. What is she looking at? I don't think it's just her face. Look at Monn. I mean, she's just kind of sadly. Look at her. Can you see her? Focus. Aw, Monn. Most of all, I just wish for everything about me to change. And then I swear to God, I would quit acting insecure and be myself. Like in all the songs where people are being themselves, I would stop faking and be for real and act free like Sue Aker and them, because for right now, I am only a plastic wall of illusion, which I hate. If I have a possibility to change, please God, let it happen. I mean, they're so endearing. You guys, I'm going to tear up just even reading these. Linda Berry just so gets it, you know? Since first grade, I have always worshipped... Marge. Since first grade, I've always worshipped Marge and given her everything of mine, or she took it, and I have tried to stop worshiping her. But it is hard because, it's Marie. Because Marie is the beautifulest and most incredible of all the girls since first grade. I have wanted to be her best friend. She said to shut up about the necklace because she accidentally lost it. Marie the liar, Marie the cheater, please don't ever stop liking me. You know everything, don't you? They're so funny. And there's Marlis and Monn sitting on their front porch step. If you guys have never read them before, you should get them. They're so good. Where's the turtle world? Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you guys, because that's like one of the funniest ones. Linda Berry, Bounce on the Fence is my favorite. Bounce on the Fence. My friend Heather and I used to say this to each other all the time. Oh my God, I can't even see it. You know who I mean when I say Teresa Watford? Does it say that in here? We used to say that to each other all the time. Heather would call me and she'd be like, you know who I mean when I say Teresa Watford? She bounces on the fence. Okay, let me see if I can find the Teresa Watford one. Oh my God, I can't find it. But at night, she is a very beautiful woman who can cut herself in half and then, oh wait, that's, okay. You guys are like, Peter, this is so boring. Well, I'm sorry. Teresa Watford. How do I remember this shit? That's what's crazy. Teresa Watford. Linda Berry. I want to read that book, Cruddy, again. Have you guys ever seen Linda Berry? Oh my God, she's fantastic. So Linda Berry is a cartoonist. She went to college with Matt Groening, who did The Simpsons. And here she is. How cool is she? Isn't she so cool? I love her. But anyway, if you've never read the Down the Street Kids about Marlis and Monn, you definitely should, because it's worth it. And yeah. And that's all I have to say about that. And read the book Cruddy if you can find it. I can't find it, but I'd love to read it. Krav Maga. What is that? I don't even know. Is that like yoga or Pilates or karate or something? I don't know what that is. Do you guys have a Hardee's or a Carl's Jr. where you live? It's right there. I haven't had it in forever, but can I just tell you that they have the best hash browns on the face of the earth? They have those little hash browns. I love those so much. Do you guys like the Indigo Girls? I love the Indigo Girls so much. I'm like fully now awake. Fully awake. And I'm craving like a bottle of water, but I don't want to go in anywhere because I have sweat shorts on. Not that that really should matter, as I really could give a shit where I go at any given time. The other day I walked into Costco to get PP's meds, and I had sweat shorts on, Birkenstock clogs, and this long Grateful Dead t-shirt, and I thought, yeah, today will be the day that I run into like somebody I used to work with or something. On the middle of a Monday afternoon. Won't that be pretty? How's work going for you today? Oh my god. Anyway, just trying to put my phone number, solution to everything. Well, listen, I think I'm gonna get off here and listen to my audiobook for a half an hour and then go home and go to bed. Can you dig it? I can dig it, she can dig it, he can dig it, we can dig it. Dig it, baby. So just remember, groove on and dig on the magic of life. Dig on the magic of life. Dig on the magic of life. I love you guys. I'll see you later.